Where I am? Is this a hospital? I woke up with a tube in my throat. I immediately removed it. I wrote what was happening because when I pulled the tube out, I tore my vocal cords. It was burning. After asking for help for 3 hours, I realized I was alone. Help me, please. Help me, please. Hello?
The patient went into a cardiac arrest. He cannot breathe on his way. We will have to intubate him as a pneumonia in case it worse.
We must help him, or he will die. We need more ventilators for the other patient who arrived in the ICU today.
When I tried to leave my room, I couldn't. There was a solid metal door that was indestructible. The place had walls made of stainless steel. I was not in a hospital. Apparently, I was in a quarantine room. Who were the women I had heard? The only thing I could see on the walls was a sign with a specific indication that said, the use of a mask is mandatory at all times.
The desperation to find elsewhere began to make me nervous. The soundlessness of the place was unbearable. My eyes moved from the side to side trying to find elsewhere. I felt that I had no longer purpose. My desire at the moment was not to tear out my eyes. I did not want to see anything of what was happening. I tried to fall asleep, but the noise of a machine that apparently was responsible for administering the drug that passed through my vein was soothing.
I will put him on more medication. The respiratory infection does not want to stop. We need more antibiotics. It doesn't seem to involve, and the worst thing is that there is not cure.
The noise was desperate and unstoppable, beeping, so I decided to disconnect myself from that machine. It was difficult to know if it was day or night. There were not windows, much less a calendar. My purpose was to find clues that would explain what was happening. Who was I? Why was I there? Before starting to search, I asked myself if I really wanted to know what my post was. While I was deciding what to do, I took a scalpel in my hands and remarked each one of the scars I had on my arms, since it seemed that there were previous suicide attempts. Likewise, I wanted to pull out all the hairs of my head, one by one, and I did so until I left a part of my head completely bald. I crawled with my bleeding arms to some rails. An iPad caught my attention. When I pressed the screen, I found the gallery. Apparently, my brain knew how to handle the device, and I found 3 videos.
In December 2019, a man was admitted to Wuhan hospital with severe pneumonia. We don't know which virus is it. Apparently, it is very infectious. More than 700 people have the same symptoms at the moment they are in quarantine. We have done studies. Apparently, it is a new virus identified as SARS-CoV-2, also known as coronavirus.
I went to the bed to try a piece of fabric to stop the bleeding. As I bandaged my wrist, I felt my body extremely hot. I climbed into the bed and felt the need to lie down. The machine started the deafening sound again. My wrist no longer had a drop of blood. At that moment, a woman opened the door, with a white sweat covering her body. She greeted me.
How do you feel? Do you need anything? Do you want to eat? Do you want to go to the bathroom? Do you want me to change your bed sheets? We can call your family to let them know about your health condition. Your daughter is eager to see you. In fact, she has come 2 times this week. I have told her that it's a risky for her to come to the hospital, but she insists on seeing you.
I was struck by her kindness as she asked me about all my needs, but I perceived an empty gaze. It was a gaze I didn't want to remember. She asked me to take off my clothes to take a bath. She took my hand to help me up. My lungs still didn't improve. They still feel weak. My throat is still burned. She pulled me into the shower with a merciless laugh and turned on his faucet.
You are going to enjoy burning because thousands of people are suffering from this liquid. People are coughing all day long. They can breathe. Their nose is stuffy. It's all your fault.
She continued to bat me. However, a liquid began to come out of my nose with great intensity, spreading all over the bathroom floor. My face was shocked to notice that it was completely green colored fluid. My whole body was filled with this liquid. The woman finished her work helping me to get out of that horrible moment.
Humanity deserves to suffer. We don't know how to take care of our planet. Every day, there are mass murders. Families kill each other. Violence doesn't stop. People are selfish. This world will never change. This is a test for more awareness of things. A global pandemic is not enough.
Her words left me speechless. How could anyone take so much pleasure in the suffering of mankind? As I lay in my bed, this horrible liquid had disappeared from my body. I closed my eyes, and when I woke up again, I was alone. I managed to hear in the distance again the voice of two women.
Elderly, overweight, or diabetic patients are more at risk.
The virus is already in all continents. It is uncontrollable. The funny thing is that all other countries believed that the virus will not leave China.
I found a plate of food at my beside table. I devoured it, but I had no taste. I couldn't even taste my blood. What was wrong with me? I closed my eyes again, and two nurses were looking at me. The first one I had already seen, and another one with a pale complexion.
We should have believed in Dr. Will Young. He warned us what we should alert the whole world. Today, the WHO declared a global pandemic.
I lost consciousness, the nurses were gone. I went back to the iPad. I found a video of a girl who was also in a hospital. She looked very sick. She looked very familiar to me as she said goodbye.
I love you, Daddy. I feel sad. I miss you so much. I don't want to say goodbye to you. I love you. I can breathe. My chest hurts. I have a dry cough. I feel like I'm going to die.
My eyes filled with tears. She was my daughter. I remember immediately. My daughter was dying. She left a video to say goodbye to me. I cried inconsolably. I banged the walls until I cracked my knuckles. I had lost my daughter, possibly the only person who loved me.
The day you came home sick from the market, you didn't take care of your family. You thought it was just a simple flu. You didn't think that selling unsanitary food could create an infection virus. You never took precaution when selling animals from human consumption. The government closed the market. How is it possible that you sold everything from crocodiles to bats without any control?
Filled with impotence, I took a scalpel and buried it in my right ear. I destroyed my eardrum. I didn't want to listen to what those women were telling me anymore. The pain made me faint. When I woke up, I saw my chest purple. I could not breathe. The white nurse entered the room quickly, put my head on a pillow, put her hand in my throat, leave the pilates, and together with the other nerds, introduce a tube in my larynx.
I can clearly see the vocal cords. I see the posterior laryngeal structures at the end of the tube, passing over the posterior cartilages. I must avoid intubation of the esophagus. It can be fatal.
The tube is located between the cords. The appropriate depth is 21 to 23 centimeters. In adults, this patient is almost safe.
I remember feeling an unbearable discomfort. The tube was blocked in my throat. I could not even try to get it off my throat. I felt that the days were passing. The fever was awful. Falling locked up was desperate. It was like being in a prison, but my chains were the machines that kept me alive. I could not imagine someone living the same as me. I could not imagine someone living every day in a room locked up. I longed for death with all my strength. I lost consciousness. When I woke up, my eardrums were bleeding, my words were necrotic, and I had no tooth. Again, the voices of the nurses in the distance disturbed my peace.
I don't think he will last more than 3 days. He's going to die soon. The infection is in all lung tissue. All the countries of the world are confined. The hospitals are full of infected people.
I was curious when I read COVID-19. I went back to the iPad, looked up the word, and was shocked by what I found. Thousands of deaths, people without jobs, people locked in their homes. Hospital full of people. They were slowed down by the new disease. In fact, humanity could not contain the virus. Doctors became infected and patients began to die. With the until mankind was completely extinguished. So, what had happened to me?
I took a pair of scissors and cut off my lips, dividing them. I broke my ankle and fractured it. It's so that I would not be able to walk. I preferred to die slowly rather than endure living like this. The last thing I did was to read a folder that was at the end of my bed. It said Patient Zero. Inside, it narrated my medical story. I was from Wuhan, China. I was a seafood seller in the local market. I arrived at the hospital on December 31, 2019. I was 61 years old.
They thought I had pneumonia, but it was actually patient zero, the first person to be infected with a virus that was destroying humanity. I started having hallucinations. They were vague memories of what I experienced in this hospital. Now, I am isolated. They decide to lock themselves up to avoid a massive contagion. When everything exploded, nobody thought of taking me off this cage.
Now I prefer to bleed to death while I destroy myself time feeling too good of not only having generated the deaths of my beloved daughter, but also a worldwide pandemic.